So today I went up to Kevély. I hiked from home. It's like a bit more than 8 kilometers. I arrived at 11:30 to the start place, and I started quite early. As I started, it was working already quite nicely, but I messed up my phone settings that I use a flight instrument. So the first 10-15 minutes I was dealing with that, but still the conditions were so nice that I was just going around and everywhere was lift, so it didn't really matter. After that I climbed up to the airspace, and under it I started to glide to the next small hill where I found thermal, but halfway up to the airspace I lost it, so I had to go back, and basically I think it was again like 15 minutes plus until I was able to scratch on really close to the ground and search for the core again.
Jó, de jó, de jó! És így szabad kiadja.
And after that I was able to glide to Ziribar, where after that I found quite nice thermal that was already out from the 750 airspace, so I was able to climb up to 1070 meters. Then all the way along Hosszúhegy, I found small thermals that I could do 1 or 2 circles, but nothing really consistent. But at the end, between Hosszúhegy and Pilis, I found one quite nice that also took me up again to 1,000 meters. It was working quite nicely on Pilis, and it was really easy to transition to Kétágú. I went all the way. At the end, I found a quite nice thermal that took me up to 1,200, which was the highest that I got this day. It was not the best day. The inversion was quite low. The thermals were quite punchy, and we really had to be aware where the cores are going, because they were going all around. And most of the time, I exited a thermal because I started to reach airspace, and in the next 3 minutes it was still lifting, so I had to spiral. I have to push full speed bar. It was quite hard to stay under the airspace. After I left Kétágú, I went like 5 kilometers northwest. Then I turned around because I didn't really see any point of making the triangle bigger, because the wind was quite strong, and the ridge ends at Kétágú, so it makes it quite hard in conditions like today to make it up until the border and come back. So today I didn't take that risk. So after that I transitioned back to Kétágú. It was quite hard because there were big sinks before the mountain. I was struggling when I had to transition back to Pilis. I spent like at least 10 minutes searching for something nice. My glider was all around, and the thermals were quite strong, but ended like after 3 or 4 rounds, and after that there were quite big sinks. But after 10-15 minutes I found my thermal. I went up to airspace again, and I easily transitioned to Pilis. Pilis was quite lifty. I didn't really have to circle too much. It was the same at Hosszúhegy. I basically did like 5-6 circles, and I was already back up at airspace. And the last section, actually the thermals were so big and so strong I couldn't exit, and it just basically dragged me inside the airspace a bit. So, but after that it was quite easy to come back, and I made it all the way back to Mocsárosdűlő. I was not going back to Nagy-Kevély because last time it didn't really work. So I took a route that is basically the middle of the valley, and it worked much better. And with 3 small thermals I was able to climb and glide. In the end I made it to Mocsárosdűlő, so I just walked home from that. That was quite cool. So what I learned today was to make this triangle bigger, I have to have less wind and a higher cloud base, because for a flat triangle like this small one, this is perfectly okay. It was a nice day for that, but for a big FIA triangle I really need less wind and stronger, not stronger, more consistent thermals that goes higher basically. But I chose this task for myself today because the weather looked like, basically it looked like what it came. Already as a start place I thought like it was not possible to do an FIA triangle because wind was too strong for that. In the air my instrument said it was around 15 kilometers an hour. My dad said it on the ground here at home it was quite much stronger, probably around 30-40 Ks. So it was interesting, but it was, for my skill level, it was definitely too much to do an FIA triangle. But Kevély has much more potential than I initially thought. It works really nice. I think I found 2 trigger points that will help me in my next flight when I try to get out from under the airspace again. So it was quite nice. I really hope that I will have a lot of possibilities this year to fly this place, because it's really interesting, and on a better day I think I can do faster average speed. Today it was 14, but it was not the best day ever, and I had to search a lot for thermals, and the thermals were falling apart. Sometimes they were really strong, but it was, if I would have to describe it, it was an average spring day with punchy thermals and low inversion. So basically that's it. I really enjoyed today's hike and fly flat triangle, so I really hope next time I can do bigger and basically an FIA triangle from here. That would be super nice. See ya!